This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. I am your host, Jamie. How's it going? Happy Friday night. This is take 2. I don't know. I just keep getting bad audio. My audio files keep getting corrupted. I don't know if it's the device. If it's the a little SD card. I keep going through them. I don't know. Judge report. Because apparently Russian warships, including nuclear missile frigate, will arrive in Cuba next week. So that would be in response to Russia saying that it shot down 4 U.S.-made long-range missiles over Crimea. So Putin is saying NATO, the U.S., is now seemingly attacking us. They don't know who's pulling the trigger, but they know where the bombs came from. This ain't good, folks. I think we've got time. I think Russia, I think China are going to wait until after the elections, and I don't know. Things could be very different in a year from now. I think that if Donald Trump is a deal maker, the world needs him to be a deal maker now, right now. It is 2024. We've got so much luxury. The poorest people in this country live better than kings and queens 100, 200 years ago. I mean, meanwhile, so the world is, and it's not just us. I mean, we've got, of course, Israel going on. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Putin is going to wait as long as he can to do anything too devastating. If Biden remains in office, he just finishes Ukraine. And the submarines he sent into Cuba, that's in case we get too involved in the defense of Ukraine. And then China will probably take Taiwan. But I think they're going to wait to see if Trump is elected. I don't think Putin wants to do that. I honestly don't. I think he's willing to. I have seen on the right where there are people who are slightly Putin apologist, and I don't understand why. I mean, I get it, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but like, no. I live in a world of good and evil. I don't know. You kind of want to avoid a government who has policies that don't treat the world as good and evil. You know? Either personally or, as a domestic policy, either way. Not a good way to judge things. But Biden poops. Folks, Biden poops. We're essentially at a moment like the Cuban Missile Crisis in the 60s, right? And their weaponry is probably far more advanced than it was then. So the stakes are probably even higher. But here we go. We've got our great leader, D-Day. He's in France. He's in Normandy, honoring the sacrifices of the heroes, which I need to watch that movie. I need to watch Saving Private Ryan this weekend. That did happen. I mean, that's something we should expose ourselves to. Like, I'm not really in the mood, honestly, to watch a war movie and see death. I mean, every once in a while, I mean, sometimes I am, but I am not right now. But I think I owe it to those fellas to sit there and experience what they experienced on some level of my soul. Like, I mean, obviously that I can't imagine. Like that's probably, I mean, that's one of the most profound scenes of film is the opening of Saving Private Ryan. But our Commander-in-Chief, folks.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
Okay, hold on, let's rewatch that. He left right after this. She shuffled him away, and Macron.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable
and his
Lloyd
70-year-old wife. If you ask Candace Owens. They shook hands. Macron shook hands with troops and such, while Biden got cleaned up, I guess. Oh my gosh. I mean, I understand. Okay, I don't know how many left-wing lunatics are listening to me. You may have stumbled across, and thank you. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment. But like, I get it. If you're like, I don't love Trump either. Okay, so if you don't like Trump, but you're not like radical. You just don't have a taste for him. I get it. Okay, but you have to admit, we need him right now, and it's crazy. It is crazy that we do need Donald Trump. It is crazy we need him. It's hard to make sense of a world that we need Donald Trump to be the president of. Like, what kind of world do we live in? I was looking at, I used to own Donald Trump books, and I don't think I have them anymore. I read them. I thought I had the first one still. That was a good one. They kind of lose their edge after a certain point. I don't know when I stop. I read several of his books. So, to recap, the President of the United States, okay, I was pooping right now. Oh, see, he tensed up. He was pooping.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
Yeah, well, at least he's not Trump. Trump's a jerk. I hate him. So let's see what else Drudge had to say. This dude, it's just crazy. Okay, so like I heard some stuff today or yesterday about Omarosa and some of the crap she stirred up when she was fired from the White House. And it's funny, he took the winner of The Apprentice before he took Michael Cohen. Like, that's how like little he trusted Michael Cohen. But anyway, so that didn't work out. And then she attacked him as a racist. And then Michael Cohen, we can see how he acted. And then someone else was attacked. Like, he gets attacked like but Matt Drudge, like, apparently, like, he was at the White House, like, he was very close with Trump, crucial in probably getting him elected, and something happened, and now not only is Drudge mad at Trump, apparently he's mad at America because he's trying to convince it to destroy itself from within. That's what he's doing by his coverage. He's not covering things like he used to. Matt Drudge is such a pussy that he's willing to burn down the country because Trump offended him or disregarded him, disrespected him. Trump's a dick. He is a dick. He's a jerk and I hate him. But dude, Drudge, like, you're willing to watch it all burn? Are you serious? You don't think that's going to happen? And there's no talk on Drudge about the pooping incident or alleged. Doesn't cover it at all. Ooh, can Alito survive the flag controversy? That he flew a flag that's a very old flag that's never offended anyone for any amount of time ever until just recently, and one person said, that's outrageous. Yeah, that's where we're at. There's a flag controversy. That's not a freedom of speech issue, I guess. Apparently, freedom of speech ends at a flag. And then Clarence Thomas, formerly reports trips to Bali paid for by conservative donor. Now, I do understand, like, donating to him, like, is there just a conservative, somebody who donates, a conservative person who donates, generally, invited Clarence Thomas to enjoy. Well, that's okay. But, like, if the donor is giving something, if he's giving money to Thomas, like, I don't, then that's wrong. Like, that's, I don't care who you are. If judges are taking money, but that doesn't, I mean, obviously Supreme Court justices don't have to run. Like, I mean, some judges run. I don't really understand how that system works, but bombshell discovery could change everything we know about the Milky Way. That's interesting because I don't know anything about the Milky Way. So, either way, I'm going to learn some stuff. Oh, it's just crazy talk. Okay. So they think that our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, collided with another galaxy, and they think that it's a lot later than they previously thought. So it's just bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit is what I think that is. Some well-financed bullshit. How Reverend CEO allegedly stole $2 billion in crypto, $1 billion in crypto scam. Jesus was best affiliate marketer in the world. So was a priest investigating donations on crypto? Okay, so it's not what I thought. It was a Ponzi scheme aimed at apparently poor immigrants. They used immigrant correctly. They didn't call it migrant. See, I think Trump, the whole deportation thing, I don't really foresee that happening. But focus on the wall and build more jails. I don't want prison reform. All right, let's outlaw solitary confinement nationwide. Make that a federal law. And then prisons should be built like as production centers. You've got all of this labor. Now they can sit in their cell and silently think about what they've done. Maybe they ask for a Bible someday. That'd be great. That's what I would hope for. Maybe they get on a treadmill and pump away for several hours a day, which produces electricity for a nearby town. For their effort, they get benefits. Maybe they save up and they could have a steak dinner. I'm not opposed to prisoners having a steak dinner. They earned it. Putting in some work, nothing wrong with that. There's all kind of benefits. Maybe you put screens in every single cell. I mean, hopefully, design them which they can't use it as any way to escape or hurt anybody. And then, hey, or maybe they want to have popcorn in a movie in their cell. Whatever they want to watch. What's wrong with that? There should be anything wrong with that. It's a good justice system. I was watching Tim Pool earlier, and he was like advocating for like a shame-based punishment, and it's very interesting. I've never really thought of it, and I agree with Tim Pool that it would certainly reduce crime if you were going to be publicly shamed instead of getting street cred for just being shuffled around jails and hanging around friends, meeting new contacts. I don't know. There were people I knew that were in and out of jail, and I mean, typically they would meet contacts. They would make friends with people in jail, and then what happens, right? So, all right, I think I kind of went on for long enough here. The world's on fire, and Biden pooped himself. You know, one thing. Okay, so this is all close, 'cause I have not said this in a while. Okay. All right, so to finish up, something I have not said in a while, and I happen to grab this shirt, which is sarcastic. I have not mentioned this in a while, but I got into so many fights online, and like it feels like, oh man, you can put ideas in people's heads online, and just over time, man, it's exhausting fighting with people. So like, I deleted the Facebook app off my phone. It's just I was going to it too much, and it's good. I don't go to it as much. I mean, I eliminated as much things to fart with on there as possible. I mean, I have my stock app that I'm going to, like throughout the day. I drive for every stop. I mean, I'm going through. I mean, maybe buying, selling, But we need cameras in the classroom. I went to one school board meeting, which I should. I went to one. I went to town to go, but I went to go to watch my nephew do taekwondo beforehand, and then I forgot to go to the school board meeting. But I did go to one, and some of the things I heard out of the staff, it was crazy. They spoke as if they owned the children. They were their kids. They said that repeatedly. And I'd like for you to care. You spend that many hours with any person of any age. Hopefully, you become friends with them. That's what loving people who fear God would do. But they're not your kids. I mean, and Libs of TikTok has exposed a lot of this. Some of the crazy stuff, the crazy stuff in the classroom, and it just never stops. And plus, we also have a epidemic of teachers abusing children. I mean, yes, and a lot of times it's like a 17-year-old dude and a decent-looking woman most of the time. So we ignore it, but like it's still sick. Like, you're an adult. You know you're an adult. You know that's a child, even if they're 17. It doesn't matter. Like, how much stuff don't we hear about? And we hear about it all the time. We need cameras in the classroom. And I've mentioned that online, and it upsets people to no end. And I love it. It's great because it works. Absolutely. I actually I think I got blocked. Because there was one broad on there that on Twitter that I would go back and forth with, and I had not seen her stuff that was for a long time. So you should quit Twitter, or she blocked me. Oh well. Anyway, we need cameras in the classroom, and for a practical purpose. See, students need to be able to go back and watch the lesson plans. Students need to be able to go and watch the lesson if they missed that day at school, or maybe they didn't understand it and they need to rewatch it. Or maybe this would be greater still, parents could watch it with their children and help explain them to it if they're not understanding the way the teacher's telling it. And it would keep the teachers honest. It would keep them honest. Because I think it's a great idea. And then when I mentioned it online, I was attacked and I was asked why I hate teachers. Because I wanted cameras on them. So I want cameras on cops too, and I don't hate cops. The world is what it is. We have the technology. Let's keep everyone. If you have a badge and a gun, I want to know what you're doing. And if you're in charge of children, I want to know what you're doing. Those are about if only 2 jobs in the world were allowed to be filmed, those were the 2 jobs you would want to be filmed. Right? Police officer, person with a badge and gun, and bought other weapons as well, and a teacher, right? So that's where we're at, people. We need cameras in the classroom. So go to your local school board meetings. Make your presence known, even if you don't have children, which I know you think that's weird, but it's like, no, it's your community. Just be concerned with your community. Love your community. Treat your community with love. You're supposed to love your neighbor, love your community. Your community is, that's how you do it. Go there and show your support, or just clap like a seal for everything. That's okay too. You might learn a thing or two. Just seeing how the process works. It's great. So I'm going to close up shop now that I've re-recorded this episode, and now it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm going to edit this in the morning, and hopefully this will be up Saturday afternoon, folks. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!